station.
Welcome to the Padres Postgame Show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. We'll take a trip down to the manager's office to hear from Mike Shildt. Plus, we'll bring you scores from around Major League Baseball. The Padres Postgame Show starts now on the Padres Radio Network.
We are live here at Petco Park as the Padres fall to the Atlanta Braves in this series finale, the rubber match of this three-game set by a final score of 6-3. Atlanta improves to 53-42 with the win. Padres drop to 50-49 with the defeat, and that is how the Padres will enter the All-Star break here in 2024. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. A lot to do on our post-game coverage on this Sunday. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll also have all the radio highlights for you, recap this game in its entirety. We will get into each and every aspect of this one. This was a game the Padres had an early 1-0 lead. They were able to scratch across a run against Chris Sale's. Xander Bogaerts, an RBI single in the first inning, but the Padres unable to score more against Sale. He went 5 innings, just a 1 run given up. And then after that, it was mostly Braves. 1 run in the 4th inning against Randy Vasquez, 1 run in the 5th inning against Vasquez to make it 2-1. Vasquez was pretty solid here today, 5 innings, 2 runs given up. But then Stephen Kolek, the 3-run home run for Travis d'Arnaud in the 6th inning against him. d'Arnaud went yard again in the 8th inning. That was after Luis Campusano made it a 2-run game with a 2-run shot in the 7th inning. Nice moment for Campy to end the first half, a pinch hit 2-run home run. But the Padres ultimately unable to mount enough of a rally to come back from being down 5-1 after that d'Arnaud home run. No doubt d'Arnaud was the big player today for Atlanta. 2 home runs in this game, 3 runs scored total, 4 RBIs on the day for Travis d'Arnaud. Again, the 3-run shot in the 6th inning and the solo home run in the 8th inning. So he really kind of was a one-man show today for the Braves, and that's where the Padres will be entering the All-Star break, 50-49. And as we go along here on the post-game show, we'll take sort of a wider look at the first half and where the Padres are and what may come in the next couple of weeks. It's pretty interesting right now when you consider this. The Padres will not play again here at home in about 2 weeks. The next time the Padres play here at home after the All-Star break and after a 9-game road trip, that will not be until July 30th. So that is exactly, a little bit more than 2 weeks away, July 30th. So, it's going to be a while, and there's a lot that could happen between now and then. There's a 9-game road trip to Cleveland, Washington, and Baltimore, 2 first-place teams, 2 really good teams in the Guardians and the Orioles. Orioles actually might be in second place in the AL East, but the point still stands. Very good teams in Cleveland and Baltimore, and obviously 3 tough games in Washington as well, and we get closer to the trade deadline. So who knows what might happen by the time the Padres are back here at home. So we'll talk about the first half and, again, dive even deeper into this game as the Braves win it 6-3 against the Padres as they take 2 out of 3 from San Diego over the weekend. Much more to come on our post-game coverage. When we come back, we'll recap this game from start to finish. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much more to get to. Final score, Atlanta 6, San Diego 3 on the Padres Radio Network.
Sick of paying through the nose for bottled water delivery?
Enrico Water SoCal, Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you. Padres, I promise it is the postgame show. Padres lose here today 6-3 to the Atlanta Braves in this series finale. Padres dropped 2 out of 3 against Atlanta. We'll have the radio highlights for you in just a moment. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt in just a moment as well. Probably a little bit more than just a moment for Mike, but we'll hear from him coming up a little bit later, so stay tuned for all of that. Padres have lost 6 out of 7 games. That is the way they wrap up the first half of the season. They go 2-6 on the 8-game homestand to wrap up the first half of the year. So, look, no way around it. Despite a nice win yesterday, it was not the way the Padres wanted to finish up this first half. You felt like a really good opportunity considering the Padres had won 12 of 15 entering this final homestand of the first half. You felt like they had an opportunity to really put a stamp on the first half of the season. They had been playing so well. You really felt like that after the win on the Friday against Arizona, first game of this homestand. And unfortunately, just the rest of the homestand did not go well. Aside from yesterday, again, the Padres have lost 6 of 7. They go 2-6 on this 8-game homestand, and they enter the All-Star break just one game above 500 at 50-49. At one point, they were 6 games above. That's the highest they've been all year. So, look, I guess on the bright side, 1 game above 500, I think they are kind of where you would think they should be record-wise based on how you feel about the way they've played, right? It's been a very, very up-and-down season. It's been a seesaw, a roller coaster, whatever word you want to use to describe it. And the Padres are sort of sitting at a record that reflects that at 50-49. They'll get 4 days off now. Some of them going to the All-Star game, so not quite 4 days off, but 4 days off for mostly everybody else. And then back at it on Friday to begin a 9-game road trip in the second half of 2024 against the Cleveland Guardians on Friday. So we'll see if they can reset, get back to work in the second half of the season. Certainly everything that the Padres want to accomplish here in 2024 that starts with a postseason spot, it is certainly very, very attainable for this team. They are not out of anything. They are just on the outside looking in of the wild card picture entering today. So it is right there for this team. It's all right there for them in the final 2+ months of the season. Now the question becomes, what will the second half ultimately bring? Well, we know what this game brought here today. Series finale as the Padres and the Braves played the rubber match of this 3-game set. Let's recap this one from start to finish.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
Padres starter Randy Vasquez worked around a 1-out double in the top of the first inning. Chris Sale, veteran left-hander, took the mound for Atlanta in the bottom half. He allowed back-to-back singles to Donovan Solano and Manny Machado. There were runners on first and third for Xander Bogaerts.
First pitch, swinging, and a liner into center field. Kelnick charging, has to play it on a hop. Solano waited to see, but he'll come in and score without a play. An RBI single for Bogaerts. 3 straight Padre hits, and a 1-0 lead in the first.
Vasquez got off to a very good start today. 3 scoreless innings to begin the afternoon, but the Braves struck in the top of the fourth. Ozzie Albies hit a leadoff single. He stole second. Matt Olson at the plate.
First pitch swinging, ground ball base hit into left for Olson. Albies rounding third, he's going to score. Matt Olson with his first hit of the series, an RBI single here in the 4th inning, and we got ourselves a 1-1 game.
That was all Vasquez allowed in the 4th inning. He got a double play ball off the bat of Marcell Ozuna to end the inning. Fast forward to the top of the 5th, Vasquez issued a leadoff walk to Travis d'Arnaud. He stole second. He went to third on a ground out. That set things up for Adam Duvall.
1-0, Duvall lines it into left field. That's a base hit. That'll give the Braves the lead as d'Arnaud trots home. So the Bravos manufacture a run here in the 5th. They lead for the first time since Friday night. It's 2-1.
Stephen Kolek replaced Vasquez in the top of the 6th inning. Braves still leading 2-1. Kolek gave up a 1-out single, then a 2-out single. There were 2 on for d'Arnaud.
d'Arnaud swings, sends it in the air to left center field. Merrill's back. He's still going back at the wall. This one gonna go into the bullpen. A 3-run homer for Travis d'Arnaud, and all of a sudden the Brave lead is 5-1.
A big swing for d'Arnaud. The score stayed 5-1 for a little bit. Pierce Johnson threw a scoreless bottom of the sixth inning out of the Braves' pen. Sean Reynolds, making his major league debut, threw a scoreless top of the seventh inning out of the Padres' bullpen, struck out 3 batters in his debut. We went bottom 7 with a runner on base and lefty A.J. Minter on the mound. The Padres pinch hit for the number 9 batter, Bryce Johnson, with Luis Campusano. Campy did this.
Him at second, 2 down, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Campusano swings, hits it in the air to deep right. Duvall is back at the track, looks up, gonna go! 2-run pinch hit homer for Luis Campusano. Don't go anywhere. This is a 5-3 game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
The Padres continue to rally. They put 2 on with 2 out for Manny Machado, but the Braves went to righty Joe Jimenez. He induced a fly out from Manny to end the inning. Jeremiah Estrada came on for the Padres in the top of the 8th inning, trying to keep it a 2-run game, but Travis d'Arnaud gave Atlanta some breathing room.
Here's the 2-1 to d'Arnaud. Swung on, hit in the air to deep center field. Merrill's back to watch. This one gonna go. Second of the day for d'Arnaud, and for the second time he puts it into the bullpen. 6-3 Atlanta here in the 8th inning.
Raisel Iglesias would get the final 3 outs for the Braves today. A scoreless 9th inning, his 22nd save of the season. And that was that in this one. Final score, Braves 6, Padres 3. Final totals for Atlanta, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Padres 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Winning pitcher in this game, Chris Sale, improves to 13-3. His major league leading 13th win of the season. Randy Vasquez drops to 2-5. And that was that here today. Padres enter the All-Star break 50-49. The Braves at 53-42. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll continue to break down this game, take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll sort of zoom out, talk more about the Padres' first half and how they are lined up heading into the second half, and we'll get you involved as well. 833-288-0973. Phone number if you want to get involved today. Again, 833-288-0973. The phone number if you want to chime in about today's game. Final score, Braves 6, Padres 3. More postgame after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Drive into summer with a new Toyota car, truck, or SUV. There are great deals on the new Toyota Tacoma with its aggressive new look, on a new Toyota Tundra with its awesome twin-turbo power, on the adventurous RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid with its amazing driving range. So to find the Toyota that's just right for you, see your Toyota dealer today.
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here today, Braves 6 and the Padres 3 as the Padres drop this series finale to Atlanta. Padres enter the All-Star break 50-49. Braves improve to 53-42. Padres go into the break limping a bit. They've lost 6 of 7 entering the break. A homestand here at Petco Park to wrap up the first half. They go 2-6 on the homestand against Arizona, Seattle, and Atlanta. Now, with all that said, the Padres, and we'll get more into this after we hear from Mike Shildt, they still sit at 50-49, and at the moment, they, let me just get the up to the minute wild card standings so we know where exactly the Padres are right here, right now. At the moment, they will enter the break a game out of the final wild card spot. Right now, the Mets have that final spot. Both the Padres and the Diamondbacks are a game out. Pittsburgh a game and a half out. The Reds 3 out. So look, it feels like a missed opportunity that the Padres were playing so well before this homestand. They lose 6 out of 8 on this homestand. It wasn't what you wanted. There's no doubt about that. You felt like there was an opportunity to continue what they had done on the homestand prior and on the road and really enter the break on a real hot stretch. That didn't happen. But with all that said, here are the positives, right? If you want to look glass half full. Number one, for a team that's hovered around 500 all year, they enter the break a game above 500. I think we all hoped it would be sort of well above 500 by the time the All-Star break happened, but a game above is what it is. And in what is a wide-open National League, they're a game out of a playoff spot. So, look, does it feel great going into the break? Look, they haven't played super well. We all understand that. But is everything right in front of them as far as what they would like to accomplish in 2024? It is. They're right in the mix of a wide-open NL wildcard race. So, with that all in mind, and today's 6-3 defeat at the hands of the Atlanta Braves in mind, let's hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, you're facing a guy like Sale, and does it sometimes seem you get something going, their third baseman makes a nice play, and guy settles into a nice game?
Yeah, I mean, we took good at bats today, whole 9 innings. Like you said, good at bats early on. You know, Solano gets it started, Manny, great approach, drives it. Solano gets it third, Bogey gets him in. You know, we got something going, and you know, Kimmy has a really good at bat, squares one up. Raleigh, really good player, makes diving play to his left, takes 2 runs off the board. But it was, you know, nip and tuck, and again, like 8th inning, great at bats too. You know, good pitcher in Jimenez, and put 3 good swings on him, all found the warning track, but not enough distance to make a difference.
Vasquez, what'd you think of his?
I thought overall good. You know, the thing is the running game got him a little bit. Albie's got him, and then obviously what happened a little bit later and cost us a couple of runs. And I thought he threw the ball well, though. He's continuing to mature and make pitches and, you know, go out. And Albie's had the best looks at him, you know, for him to get that 6. So wanted to get him off the board, give him a different look, which we did. Just couldn't get Darno on a breaking ball.
What do you make of, now that you are at the break, what do you make of kind of where your team is as it enters the break and where you're set up for in the second half?
A lot of positives. I mean, there's always things, clearly. You know, I don't want to say everything's, you know, exactly as we wanted to go. But, you know, you factor in, you know, going back to even spring training, you know, this group has covered a lot of ground together. And I feel like we're in a really, really good place. We've shown the ability to play some really good baseball. You know, every team's going to have a few missing pieces, and that's part of the season. And that's a test of a team's identity and its character and its competitiveness and its depth. And, you know, we probably had more of our share of that, you know, especially with, you know, a lot of our bigger guys, the big boys. And we've been able to, you know, overall play really good, clean baseball. You know, there's been a few games where, you know, you're going to play 99 games. There's going to be a few games that human comes into play. But, you know, as far as when we win, we play clean, take good at bats, run the bases well. And sometimes, like today, you have a lot of good quality at bats. You're playing clean defensively. You didn't really beat us anything with the walks. Again, we gave up a few things on a running game. Made a pitch, that we would have liked back. But overall, this team's in a good spot, and it's only going in a good direction, and we're going to get healthier in the second half, and we're going to continue to improve in the second half. I like where we're at, and we're poised to make a nice run to get where we want to go and expect to go, and that's the playoffs.
I know you do have a break coming up that you get to enjoy, but the 9-game trip after the break, what is the level of importance on that? You're playing some tough teams there, and the fact that when it ends, it's trade deadline time. So the importance of those 9 games and once you get out of the break.
The first game on Friday after the break will be the most important game of the year. I can't operate in our body of work, and we look at big picture, and that's fine. We set up rotations and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, I know it's a trap to look up and go, oh, we got to do this in this series and this and that, road trip. No, we're going to have 63 games to get after 63 games and to give our best bolt at every opportunity, and I'm confident this club will do that.
What does Reynolds show you with his first inning, and what might that get him?
Hey, sees an opportunity today. Congratulations, Sean Reynolds, making his big league debut and punches out the side. That was a pretty special debut. I know it's a lot of emotions. You guys will talk to him. It's been a long and windy road. He's wanted 23,000 and change to ever play in the big leagues. That's a pretty rare company. So congratulations to him. Bright spot for the day for sure. And, he'll get more opportunities and continue to seize them.
When you face guys like Logan Gilbert, Chris Sale, do you not look at it like you guys stumbled into the break at losing 6 of 7? I mean, how do you see this homestand?
Yeah, we just faced, Lopez is all-star too. Beat him yesterday. Good at bats against Sale. Similar to yesterday, it was a tale of another game. We basically were able to take advantage yesterday, being able to manufacture some things. Manny had a good swing, just like they put a good swing on with Darno today. But they were able to grab some bags and do some little things that separated the competition today. We were able to do it yesterday. That's what playoff type baseball is, and that's how you beat, good pitching. They don't give you a whole lot, and you got to take every opportunity. So, we faced some really good pitching, and then that's a good opportunity for us. And I thought our bats were good. Again, bats were fantastic today against Sale. We just couldn't cash.
You always talk about how proud you are, how these guys are battling at the plate, and you actually lead the MLB in hits with 876. And I just want to know how you plan to build on that in the second half moving forward.
Yeah, no, I talk a lot about it. I'm sincere in it, irrespective of our base running, our defense, individually, collectively, our offensive approach, our pitching approach. I just want us to continue to be better every time out, get that 1% better, be the best at getting better. So, relative to the approach, it's been good. It's been the offensive approach has been our strongest identity, I feel like, of our club, and I give a lot of credit. Credit goes to the players. These guys have really stepped up, taken great at bats, very selfless baseball. You hear around people that I respect, people in the industry. I watch it with my own eyes, and you look up and you're it's everybody's got their own version of how the game needs to be played, but it's a good way of playing baseball where you're not giving up anything and available and aware of all the opportunities that come your way and have the right intent to execute. So just continue to get better at it.
And I know you've got a few key players still out with injuries. How excited are you personally to see guys like Toddy and Darvish and Musgrove get back in that second half and contribute to this team that's already rolling? Yeah,
it's good to see Bogey. We just got Bogey back. He's got 2 multi-hit games. Welcome him back. It's a great another presence in the lineup. We don't have timetables on the 3 guys you mentioned with you and Toddy and Joe. We're going to support the heck out of them. We're going to be excited when they come back, but we're going to keep getting after it and look to shake hands until they do.
Do you know? Excuse me. Do you know if Arise is playing Tuesday or not? Obviously, he's been playing through something.
Yeah, I don't know if that's been finalized. I know it's been talked about clearly, Dennis. There's a chance he will not play. That I'll let the club announce that. He's been such a team guy. He wants to make sure what he's dealing with, he can get behind him. We took a step today by staying away from him. So it'll be determined and announced really soon.
Given that he has been playing through that, did you guys discuss taking more of a break before today? I mean, you guys have a pretty deep infield. I know Xander just got back, so that helps, but just any time off?
Not really. We didn't think that was necessary. I think we knew the break was coming. We trust the player and Luis. It's always a triage with this deal, the player and medical, and, of course, baseball weighs in too. But he laid out 3 ropes yesterday, so he kind of made his case for being able to be available and be active. So, but we'll make an announcement. He'll make an announcement, and the club will, and about his All-Star appearance on Tuesday.
And do you have a date, even a rough one, for when Tatis will get his CT scan next month?
I understand he's going to get some testing and imaging. I don't know if the CT scan he's probably going to get more of an MRI prior to the CT, and then we'll evaluate from there. And that's going to be sooner rather than later.
Over the break?
Yes, sir.
Any update of you guys?
No, like I say, I don't have any updates other than, we continue to support him, give him his space, and, send out our love to him. Yep. Enjoy your break.
All right, that was Padres manager Mike Shildt after today's game. Padres falling 6-3 to the Atlanta Braves. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to break down this ball game. Padres dropping the rubber game of this 3-game series. Let's just, before we go to break, quickly touch on a couple of things from this game in particular, and then we're going to circle back in our next segment to Arise in the All-Star game. You heard there from Mike Shildt that sounds like there's a chance Luis may not play in the All-Star game. That's not confirmed, as Mike said, but it sounds like something they're talking about right now as he continues to deal with the hand issue, the thumb issue, and didn't play today. So, look, if he weren't to play in the All-Star game, it would give him a full 5 days off, which maybe could help him kind of, reset things health-wise for him. So we'll get a little bit more into that a little bit later and into the road trip coming up. But 2 elements of this game that I think are important to mention. Number 1, the first inning. The old saying is, right, as cliche as it is, that against a great starting pitcher, you got to get to him early. And the Padres did that today against Chris Sale in the first inning. Back-to-back singles for Solano and Machado, put runners on first and third with 1 out. And then Bogart's an RBI single. Made it 1-0. And at that point, the Padres have runners on first and second, 1 out, and they already have a 1-0 lead. So that's a spot where you're looking for more. I mean, you're looking to hang a crooked number on Sale in the first inning. But after that, Cronenworth, a little ground out back to Sale. Runners move up, Machado to third, Bogarts to second. And then Ha-Sung Kim hit a hard ground ball to the left side. Good third baseman Austin Riley made a great diving stop on it, got Kim at first base. So, look, great play by Riley. If he doesn't get that, it goes into the outfield. This may be a 3-0 game early on in the first inning, which obviously really changes the complexion of this game totally. But look, an example, great play by Riley or not, when you're facing a great starting pitcher, even if you get 1 run against him early, I think it just kind of hammers home the point. You got to take advantage of really getting them in the first inning. And the Padres did get a run against Sale. That was great. But they weren't able to really get to him in that first inning. And you look back at that now and feels like a missed opportunity. There was something else there early in the postgame press conference that's worth bringing up, and that was the stolen base against Vasquez. Now, Randy Vasquez was, I thought, pretty solid today. 5 innings, 2 runs given up. Look, he kept him in the game. Could have gone further. I understood the Padres took him out, 73 pitches. You've got the All-Star break starting tomorrow, a full bullpen to use. I got it. But there were 2 things. You heard Mike mention the stolen base, and it was really important. You look at the 4th inning with the Padres leading 1-0. Albies leadoff single. He steals second against him. RBI single for Olsen ties the game at 1, right? So the stolen base in the 4th inning really critical against Vasquez. Then you look at the 5th inning. Darno, who's not, Mr. Speedy, walks to begin the innings. That's one bad thing on Vasquez. He walked the leadoff man. But then it was sort of a weird one where d'Arnaud got a huge jump, and Kyle Higashioka, it was such a big jump, didn't even flinch behind the plate trying to get d'Arnaud. That was just the case that appeared of Vasquez just not paying attention to d'Arnaud. He got a huge jump, and he easily stole second base, and then he goes to third on a ground out and comes in on an RBI single. So look, d'Arnaud's stolen base that ended up playing a factor in that fifth inning. So that was just one aspect of Vasquez's outing that didn't go well, the holding on runners, and especially that situation in the fifth inning. But look, Randy, 5 innings, 2 runs. Chris Sale, 5 innings, 1 run. 1 got the loss, 1 got the win. And that was part of the story here today as the Braves win it 6-3. When we come back, we'll talk about one of the real bright spots in this game for the Padres. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We have our player of the game, play of the game coming up a little bit later as well. And we'll break this one down even further and take a wider look at the first half of the year, second half coming up. Again, the final here today, Braves 6, Padres 3. More post-game coverage after this on the Padres Radio Network.
For 70 years.
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we wrap this one up. Final score here today, Braves 6 and the Padres 3. It's Military Sunday here with the Padres, and we want to give a special salute to all our active duty service members, veterans, and their families. San Diego County Toyota dealers are proud partners of the Padres and honored to support San Diego's military community. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the relief pitcher of the game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
We take a look at our relief pitcher of the game here today, and we're going to stay on the Padres side of things, keep it positive, and you know what? I'm going to give it to Sean Reynolds. Made his major league debut today for the Padres. Scoreless 7th inning, did give up a hit, did walk a batter, but struck out 3. Had to get through the top of the Braves lineup. Struck out Duvall, Kelnick, and then Riley with 2 on and 2 out. So, look, he throws hard. He's a big presence out there. I like it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Reynolds, sticks around for a little bit through the All-Star break. But I thought a pretty impressive first Major League appearance. Clearly throws hard, has a good slider. And we'll see what the future is for Sean Reynolds. But thought he was good today. So, Sean Reynolds, congratulations. Your first Major League inning, 3 strikeouts, a scoreless frame. I'm sure you'll certainly take it and go on from there. So, Reynolds really good. And look, here's the bottom line. Much like we saw with Jeremiah Estrada earlier this year, if you are a young reliever and you've got good stuff and you can get guys out and be good, you've got a chance to stick around this bullpen. There are spots. I mean, so Reynolds, hey, pitches well, a few outings in a row, who knows? So, could stick around a while. So, good outing for Sean Reynolds in his Major League debut, and for that, we'll keep it on the Padres side of things, our relief pitcher of the game. A lot of action today on this Sunday across the major leagues. Let's take a look.
Let's take a trip around the bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
Orioles beat the Yankees 6-5 in Baltimore. They walked it off in Baltimore. There was kind of a wild ending there for the Orioles, who trailed by 2 runs heading into the bottom half of the 9th inning. And Cedric Mullins winning it on a 2-run double. And it was some miscues defensively that allowed the Orioles to hang around in that game in the 9th inning. They go on to win it 6-5. Other finals across the major leagues today. Red Sox beat the Royals 5-4 at Fenway Park. Dominic Smith, a home run in that game for the Sox. Rockies beat the Mets 8-5 in New York earlier today. Michael Toglia, a 3-home run game for Colorado in that one at Citi Field in New York. A's beat up on the Phillies 18-3 in Philadelphia. Speaking of 3 home run games, Lawrence Butler went yard 3 times for Oakland. Rays beat the Guardians 2-0 in Tampa Bay. Tigers beat the Dodgers 4-3 in Detroit in walk-off fashion. Marlins beat the Reds 3-2 in Cincinnati. Pirates beat the White Sox 9-4 in Chicago. Brian Reynolds a home run in that game for the Pirates. Rangers beat the Astros 4-2 in Houston. Josh Smith had a couple of home runs in that game for Texas. Brewers 9, Nationals 3 in Milwaukee. Cubs beat the Cardinals 8-3 in St. Louis. Pete Crow Armstrong, a couple of home runs in that game for the Cubbies. Giants beat the Twins 3-2 in San Francisco. A walk-off, error-filled Little League type home run for Mike Yastrzemski wins it for the Giants in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So Giants win it 3-2. Blake Snell, by the way, he had a perfect game going through 6 in that game. Went 7 shutout innings. He's pitching a little bit better as of late, Blake Snell. Other finals, Angels beat the Mariners 3-2 in Anaheim. Joe Adell, a 3-run home run in that game for the Angels. And finally, Blue Jays 8, Diamondbacks 7 in Arizona. Kevin Kiermaier, a grand slam in that game for Toronto. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday, final day of the first half in 2024. Final score here today in San Diego, Braves 6, Padres 3. We'll step aside, come back with more, including our player of the game, play of the game, wrap things up, take one final look at the first half of the year, and get you ready for the second half of 2024 beginning on Friday in Cleveland. Our postgame show continues after these words. Our postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here today, Braves 6 and the Padres 3 as the Padres drop this series finale to Atlanta. Padres go 2-6 on this 8-game homestand against the Diamondbacks, Mariners, and Braves. Padres lose 6 out of 7 heading into the All-Star break. So look, there's no way around it. Padres were playing really well a little over a week ago. The walk-off home run for Manny Machado the Friday night against the Diamondbacks to begin this homestand. And after that, the Padres losing 6 out of their last 7 in the first half. And they enter the All-Star break just a single game above 500 at 50-49. As we welcome you back into our post-game coverage, Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building. By the way, just a note for you in case you want more Padres content to consume after we're done here. The 2024 MLB draft is going on right now. Padres have the 25th overall pick in the first round, so they're still a ways away. They're only through 6 picks so far, so we're going to get off the air, and they are not going to have selected yet, so keep an eye on that. The first overall pick was Travis Bazzana, an infielder out of Oregon State who actually grew up in Australia. He's Australian, so pretty interesting there. I without looking, I would imagine he's the first overall pick to be, from Australia. So pretty interesting. He did go to Oregon State collegiately, but pretty interesting there. So Travis Bazzana, that was the selection of the Cleveland Guardians, and then the Reds choosing Chase Burns. Charlie Condon, who's a big-time college player out of Georgia, the 3rd overall pick, and you can go to MLB.com and follow along the draft right now. But again, the Padres selecting 25th overall, so that'll come in just a little bit. We'll find out who is the new Padres prospect we got to know about. Certainly a very exciting day. Congratulations to all those young men getting selected today, whether it be out of high school or out of college. Very, very exciting day, the Major League Baseball draft, and a nice way to continue some of the pre-All-Star game festivities, the Home Run Derby tomorrow, the All-Star game on Tuesday. But they do a really nice job kind of leading up into that event with a number of games and events leading into All-Star Week. Of course, again, the Home Run Derby tomorrow, the game on Tuesday. Plenty to watch if you're a Padres fan in the game with Profar starting in left field, and, of course, Jackson Merrill and Robert Suarez there as well. We'll see how and when they get in the game. And also Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't know if Tati's going to be there or not. He's not going to play. We know that. And then arises the question right now, as we heard from Mike Shildt earlier. Sounds like the Padres and Luis are still determining if he's going to play in that game. Again, he's been dealing with a thumb issue, which, we found out yesterday. We read that tweet from Annie Heilbrunn. It's clearly affected him. And you look at some of the numbers the last month or so, I think by the numbers, it's clear that something is affecting him. So, maybe wouldn't be the worst idea in the world for Rise to get a really solid 5 days of rest, including the off day he had today, into, the All-Star break, and then ultimately return on Friday. That would seem like maybe a good idea, but we'll see. Playing in the All-Star game, it's very important to these guys, and being a part of that is very, very important to the players that are selected. So we'll see what the Padres and Luis Rise ultimately decide to do. And just one more note before we get to wrapping up our daily awards here. The 9-game road trip, look, it's a tough one. We heard Mike Shildt talk about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It is not going to be easy out of the break at all. Padres have a 9-game road trip out of the break against Cleveland for 3, Washington for 3, and then Baltimore for 3. And to give you an idea, if you're not familiar with the Guardians or the Orioles, the Guardians are the first-place team in the American League Central. They're 58-37. The Orioles are the first-place team by a game over the Yankees in the American League East, 58-38. So 2 first-place teams on the horizon. A series in Washington. It was a very emotional series against the Nationals when they were here a few weeks ago. So it's a tough trip. And by the time that trip is over, we are at July 29th is the off day after that trip. So we are nearly at the trade deadline. So look, I think it's going to be fascinating, to see where this team is record-wise out of that trip. And number 2, are there new faces here at Petco Park by the time they get back? Via trades. As we get towards the trade deadline, I think those are very, very important questions. And we'll see how the Padres do out of the break. Like I said earlier, everything for this team right in front of them. Through the ups and downs of the first half, everything is right in front of them. They're a game out of a wild card spot. They're a game above 500. Has this been a seesaw first half, a seesaw season? Absolutely. And just in the most recent few weeks, they win 12 out of 15, and then they end the first half of the season by losing 6 out of 7. It's a perfect microcosm of what this first half was. It was not a perfect first half by any means. I think there are a lot of encouraging signs about this group and their identity. But we'll see. Bottom line is this. They're a game out of a playoff spot with 63 games left to play. And if they play well and win games, they're going to have a real good chance to be in the postseason. So it is right in front of them is the point. And we're going to find out what the rest of the story here is in 2024 as the second half begins on Friday. Let's tell you about today's player of the game.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Tim at second, 2 down, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Campusano swings, hits it in the air to deep right. Duvall is back at the track, looks up, gonna go! 2-run pinch hit homer for Luis Campusano. Don't go anywhere. This is a 5-3 game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Player of the game here today, we'll keep it on the Padres side of things. Yes, I know, Travis d'Arnaud had the 2 home runs, but you know what? We'll end the first half on a positive note. Give it to Luis Campusano. Had a big swing in this game. 2-run pinch hit home run. Nice moment to end the first half for Luis, who had an up and down first half of the season. Injury as well in the first half. But look, it gave the Padres some life in this game, right? They were down 5-1. Made it 5-3. The Padres would get the tying runs on immediately after that. Get the go-ahead runs to the plate, and Manny Machado. Manny hit the ball to left and couldn't get it down for a base hit. Inning was over, and that was really the best opportunity the Padres had late in this game. But we'll give it to Campy for the 2-run home run, our player of the game here today. Why not? Keep it positive with our player of the game. As far as the moment that had really the biggest impact on the result here today, let's hear today's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
d'Arnaud swings, sends it in the air to left center field. Merrill's back. He's still going back at the wall. This one gonna go into the bullpen. A 3-run homer for Travis d'Arnaud, and all of a sudden the Brave lead is 5-1.
The first of 2 home runs that Travis d'Arnaud hit in this game. That made it go from a 2-1 game to a 5-1 game. d'Arnaud would then make it 6-3 with a solo home run in the 8th inning to give the Braves a little bit more insurance. And he had a big day today. 3 hits, 2 hits, both were home runs, 4 RBIs total, 3 runs scored. Big day for d'Arnaud and that home run. Unfortunately, here today from the Padres side of things, our play of the game. All right, so where do the Padres stand again entering the break? 50-49, an up and down first half, no doubt about that. They are 1 game out of a wild card spot in the National League. Certainly encourage you to tune in to the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game tomorrow and Tuesday. Should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Admittedly, I'm also looking forward to a few days off, and I will talk to you on Friday. As always, if you missed any of our post-game any of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt. You can, as always, find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back and watch any of our post-game coverage on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Every Sunday is Military Sunday, and we want to take time to recognize and thank all military members for their amazing dedication and service. San Diego County Toyota dealers, proud partners of the Padres, are honored to support San Diego's military community. Taking a look ahead to what lies ahead for the Padres. Again, 4 days off from now until Friday. A nice rest for mostly everybody, except for those guys going to the All-Star game. But hey, they rest, in having fun at the All-Star game, and then those guys will have a couple of days off as well. First pitch on Friday in Cleveland at 4:10 p.m. here in San Diego. Our Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show will begin at 3:10 from inside our San Diego studios. Certainly hope you can join us on Friday. Taking a look at the final totals here today for the Braves. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left on 4. For the Padres, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left on 7. Winning pitcher in this game, Chris Sale, who improves to 13-3. Losing pitcher, Randy Vasquez, who drops to 2-5. And the save goes to Raisel Iglesias, his 22nd save of the season. Time of game, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and the crowd at Petco Park, the 32nd sellout of the season, 42,132 on a Sunday afternoon. Once again, first pitch on Friday at 4:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 3:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from Petco Park. Again, the final score here today, the Atlanta Braves 6 and the San Diego Padres 3. We'll talk to you on Friday. Have a great All-Star break, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.